This is Colonel Tracy Roberts, your pastor of prosperity, with words of wisdom and nuggets of knowledge. Dr. Abraham Maslow came up with this idea that we all have needs. And with when those needs are fulfilled, then we can move to a higher level of understanding of what we need. If our lower needs are not being fulfilled, then it becomes difficult for me to focus on the wind blowing right here in the country. But we're going to go through some of these needs that Dr. Maslow looked at. And with this simple understanding, it's going to show you how that we have needs, and as those needs fulfill, then the intensity of the need starts going down. Because if I've got my air, then oftentimes I don't have to think about breathing. But people that have asthma, that becomes the only thing that they're thinking about. If you don't believe me, we can put your head in the water, and in a minute you'll be wanting some air. So with these hierarchy of needs, just know that what we're going to do is we're going to fulfill the needs as we go, and as those needs are fulfilled, then I'm able to raise myself to a higher level of thinking and a higher level of being. So we're going to start with the physiological needs. There are some basic needs that you have. You have need for food. You have need for shelter, need for air. There's sexual needs. There's biological needs. There's all kinds of things that are just general, that if I don't have these things, then there's nothing else that's important. Oftentimes, I've talked to people and they'll say, well, let's talk to everybody about Jesus. And I love to talk to people about Jesus. But if someone's hungry, it's time for me to feed them first. I need to get some food in their body. And then they're able to listen to what I have. So the physiological needs are the ones that are just basic ones that everyone has to have taken care of. And if you have all of those needs provided for before you walk out of the house every day, then you're able to concentrate and do some other things. Then Dr. Maslow took us to the safety needs. That's why we set up governments. These are kind of things that where I'm not worried about someone coming and shooting me or causing me harm. And if my safety needs are not met, then I'm probably not going to be focusing on anything else other than trying to be safe and keep myself and my family in a good way. So I want to make sure that I've got those needs provided for. And then there's loving and belonging. We have this need within us to be loved and cared for. They've actually found that in some of the countries where these little children are orphaned and just left in a crib for a long period of time, that they'll die because they need interaction with other human beings. And I also want to belong to something. As I have belonging, some people will talk about they'll look back and they'll love their high school. I came from Corrigan Canyon High School, Corrigan Canyon Bulldogs. I'm still a Bulldog. I belong to that. I was in the United States Air Force. When I see an Air Force plane flying over, then what I say is that's one of my planes because I belong to that organization. I was a deputy sheriff for a lot of years, and I'm a proud member of the Utah County Sheriff's Office. These kind of things are belonging. And when we have these bottom three, when I have my physiological needs taken care of, my safety needs, and I feel loved and belong to something much bigger than myself, then I'm able to move to another place. And that's the esteem. And that's the place where I am concerned about how other people feel about me, how the world sees me, how I see me. And that is a powerful, powerful place to be. Because I want to know that I'm doing some good. That might be even the place where we're starting to think about our legacy. And as I'm looking at legacy, then my esteem goes up, and I know that I'm part of the better place. Now, Dr. Maslow ended it with self-actualization. And I've seen it broken down into, when I'm in a state of self-actualization, that means that all of my physiological needs are taken care of. I feel safe and secure. I know that I'm loved and I belong to something bigger than myself, and that people respect me and I respect me. Now I'm able to look at and go to museums, go to and enjoy the outdoors, and look at things that I may not pay attention to if I was hungry. And so the self-actualization, that's the place where it's beauty. That's the place where we create art. That's the place where all creation is made. And so a lot of people, they want to jump to that. I can go to an art gallery, I can go to a museum, I can enjoy some of those things, but if I'm hungry, then they don't mean anything. A beautiful painting sitting on the wall, for a hungry person, well, it might mean something, but it might not mean anything. But as we can see on the chart, as all of these needs are met, then they come up as I'm wanting to meet the needs, and then they go down. Because the intensity of the needs lower as they're fulfilled in my life. And then I'm able to look at the beautiful things. We're actually able to have psychological conversations, philosophical conversations with people. As I was saying in the beginning, that if the person's hungry, I don't need to be talking about philosophy with them. What I need to do is put a sandwich in them, and then we can talk about philosophy later. And there's the top, my little golden triangle, my nugget of gold. That's the place when all of my needs have been met. They are continually met. I don't even have to think about them. And now I get to spend time helping other people raise themselves to a higher level. With these needs, I have seen individuals, and they would jump up because they want to, well, let's go to the art gallery. They'll jump up and they'll hang on to that, and they'll say, I'm at self-actualization. And they're holding on. Or they'll be in church and they're feeling the Spirit and feeling good, and they're like, yeah, I got to a higher level. And then they walk out of the church house and they have to go back to their own house. And then they go from this high level and they may drop all the way back down. Make sure that you're taking care of all of your basic needs so that you can take yourself to a higher level, and then you get to transcendence. And at transcendence, that's when I get to spend all of my time in my legacy and my purpose, making the world a better place, doing what I enjoy doing. And I also have the opportunity to help other people, lift other people. There is I'm going to leave y'all with an old Quaker proverb. And it says, I lift thee, and thee lift me, and we shall ascend together. And that's the place of transcendence, where we are looking at the whole world and how we can make it a better place. This is your Pastor of Prosperity, Colonel Tracy Roberts, leaving you with a blessing of prosperity, abundance, and favor. God bless you as you bless others. And remember to live in purpose and on purpose always. I love you, and we'll see you on the next video.